This video is presented by EA Game Changers. They allowed me to play the game early. That's how this is all possible. Let's get into the video. What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. My first rebuild of Madden 22. And it is the Houston Texans. I'm sorry in advance, Texans fans. I'm gonna make fun of you. It's unavoidable. I live in Houston. I feel like this is a fitting team to start out with. And it's bad. But hit the subscribe button for more Madden 22 content throughout the year, including a rebuild for every team, sometimes two, rebuilding challenges, main franchise, so much stuff going on. Thanks to EA for letting me play the game early so I could get this content out early for you guys. And let's go ahead and break down the roster, talk about some things. The rosters aren't perfect. This is an early version of the game, so the rosters aren't good for every team. I've adjusted the Texans and some rookies, but every team's roster is not perfect. So this is probably going to be the only one or two that's like that. For the other teams, I will actually have the updated rosters, but for this one, they're not all ready yet, so be mindful of that. But the Texans should be very, very, very close to their exact 53-man that will be featured in the launch version of Madden 22. Okay, so we have to get used to the new hub screen. Not the kind of hub that would feature Deshaun Watson, but the hub that is new to Madden 22 franchise. We're gonna go ahead into adjust lineup here, and that's where you can find the actual team. And again, it's not a good one. There are growing theories that Deshaun Watson will be traded. So I think we're gonna start this franchise off by trading Deshaun Watson for what should be a massive package of picks. Brandon Cooks is our lead receiver, 85 overall. Not too bad there. Not too bad for Brandon Cooks. He's always underrated, I think. I mean, he's a deep threat, but he's one of the best in the league. That just doesn't get talked about like he's one of the best deep threats in the league. He's very, very good at that. The offensive line, for the most part, is a complete disaster. I might try and move Marcus Cannon. We need as many picks as we can get because the previous administration before, Gene Dangus took over, it's me, by the way, was we're going to trade everybody and all of our future picks for just a few players. And it hadn't worked out very much until we're going to step in now. Laramie Tunsil's in here. He's really all we have on the offensive line. Max Sharping's young. Titus Howard's young, former first-round pick that we're going to end up starting at right tackle after Marcus Cannon either gets traded away or cut. Brevin Jordan's in here. Kahali Waring. It's not an amazing group overall. Like Mark Ingram, David Johnson. I don't know what the thought process was by trading DeAndre Hopkins to basically get David Johnson. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to anybody. Kiki QT's in here. Chris Conley. It's a bad group on offense. But the good thing is that the defense is not much better. Got Desmond King, Bradley Roby at corner, Justin Reed. There's some okay players. Desmond King might end up moving back to safety. We have Lonnie Johnson there. Fun story about Lonnie Johnson. Failed transferring because he didn't spell his name right one time on a test. That was the rumor that he had 3 N's in Lonnie, I think. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the actual truth of that is, but we have Zach Cunningham. Whitney Merciless is past his prime. Christian Kirksey isn't the best. Desmond King is the only real new pickup to this team that is worth anything. Shaq Lawson's probably not going to do much. We're going to work on developing Ross Blacklock. I do want Charles Omenihu to play. He's just not all that good. And then, of course, we're talking about in the game. I like Charles Omenihu as a player in real life. And then Jordan Jenkins. It's just not a strong group. We've got a lot of work to do. So trading Deshaun Watson honestly isn't the worst start because we should be able to get a lot of picks in return. The Eagles are a team that has been rumored to be in on Deshaun Watson. Guess what? They have a lot of picks as well. So can we get 3 first-round picks back for Deshaun Watson? We can. Well, I mean, what more do you want? That's 3 first-round picks back. All this year, we should be able to start the rebuild in a pretty good position. Now, Laramie Tunsil's someone I'm interested in trading, but I probably shouldn't. Philip Lindsay's got to go. Mark Ingram, if anybody wants him. I'm not sure what the interest is going to be in some of these players. We're going to have to see. Okay, Philip Lindsay, who we don't need. we can get a running back a different way. Marcus Cannon, who's kind of dead weight at this point, and a 4th-round pick gets us a future first from Washington football team, who apparently is going to decide on a name soon. When's that going to be? I'm curious to know what their new team is going to be. Hopefully it's not something terrible. Like the Cleveland Indians are going to be the Cleveland Guardians moving forward. Like that could be worse. And that's kind of what I expect for Washington football team. Giants, my favorite team, New York Giants, play them twice a year. I'd prefer them not to be just like a joke of a name. Like they could do something really bad. Like I've heard the Red Wolves as an option. I think that sounds really good. But, well, I think it sounds, we'll have to see. I'm not going to weigh in on it too much. Bradley Roby is 29. Bradley Roby's probably someone I should trade. Bradley Roby's good. He's just getting paid so much money. Major cap hit, which is not a problem to us right now, but he's 29. He's only going to regress. We should be able to find a good trade partner, and I want to focus on picks. We could try and trade for, like, younger players that could develop that we have control of for a little while. Again, these ratings are not close to final. This is not the final roster. Roquan would be like a 90. So things are certainly going to change. The Bears are projected to have the #1 overall pick. I don't believe you. Okay, trading Bradley Roby, Justin McCray, who they want for some reason, and Mark Ingram, to just get him off the team, for a 1st-round pick next year for the Vikings. We have a lot of 1st-round picks right now. Like, a lot. But there aren't really any players I want to trade for right now. And I thought about moving Laramie Tunsil. I thought about moving Brandon Cooks. I don't think I'm going to right now. That might be something I do next year. It's certainly in play, but I'm not going to do it right now. We're going to stick with this kind of garbage team. Let's be real about it. Like, it's awful, but there is potential for the future. Are there any, like, impending free agents that I might not want to bring back that I could trade at the deadline maybe, or even right now? Let's see. How many guys have 1 year remaining that are worth anything? Very few, because there's not a lot on the team worth anything, honestly. Like Hargraves and QT, no. Whitney Merciless won't have any value. I might test it. Man, there are a lot of guys with expiring contracts, but most of them I don't really need. Like Justin Reed, I'm going to bring back. Desmond King, I'm going to bring back. Midseason mark, we are 3-4. As you can see in the middle of the screen there. It took me a second to find it. Not doing as poorly as we probably should be. It could be worse. Let's go ahead and check in on the team and see if there are any change development traits, as can happen over the course of the season, or changed overall. Some players are up a little bit. Some players, no change. Justin Reed is someone we're going to want to bring back right now. You can see morale is affecting some of these guys. Not Justin Reed, though. Not Justin Reed. Okay, so we're going to let, like, almost everyone go. There really aren't many players I want here. But I do want Justin Reed. I do want Justin Reed. A 5-year deal is actually not too bad, and he's not all that expensive. Just over $5 million. It's 33.3 right now, over 5. Like, that's not bad. We went a little bit over that to 34-ish over 5. Justin Reed's going to be worth every penny. Now, Desmond King, on the other hand, I don't really think is worth this contract. But if he can get, I don't know, I feel like he's definitely more valuable to me at safety. So what I could do, and I don't know how this is going to impact contract negotiations, I could move him to safety where I think he's a more natural fit anyways. Because let's be honest, he's a nickel corner. He's a slot cornerback that we have at boundary corner right now. So let me move Lonnie Johnson to corner, Desmond King back to safety, and then negotiate with Desmond King at the end of the year. Hopefully for reduced rate. Might not be possible, but then I could franchise tag him at safety and pay him about what I would be paying him at cornerback for 3 or 4 years, but only do it for 1 year, if that makes sense, which it should. It's not super complicated. Okay, did we make the playoffs? No. Not exactly a major shock there. Who did make the playoffs? It's always interesting to see in the first rebuild how things are shaping up. Doesn't seem that crazy except for the Jags snuck in and got the 3 seed. Like, you could see the Patriots and Chiefs and Ravens and Bills and Browns all in the playoffs on the AFC side. All makes sense. The Titans maybe winning the division, but they don't here. They get a wild card spot. Jags apparently with a very good record. But I could see them looking decent on paper. It's all about how coaching changes that team. Cowboys, number 1 seed. Not exactly shocking if you played Madden 20. Bucks, Cardinals, Packers, Eagles, Seahawks, and Panthers in there. Notable lack of Rams and 49ers, I think, are the two that kind of stand out to me. Like, I think the Saints will find a way to get in somehow, too. We'll have to see, though. You know, injuries are going to happen. A lot could change during the season, so you never can just say, oh, yeah, clearly these are going to be the teams in the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. 31st offense in the league. Pretty poor, I would say, on that one. 15th defense, though. Kind of surprising. Tyrod Taylor was unexceptional. Rushing, David Johnson was pretty bad. Did have 15 touchdowns on 3.3 yards per carry. He just got the ball every play, it seems like. Receiving, Kiki QT led our team in yards, 775. Brandon Cooks, not a good season. Nice number of receptions, though. Jordan Akins led our team in touchdowns with 7. He'll be gone. Defensively, Zach Cunningham, 136 tackles, 5 of which for loss. 1.5 sacks, 2 picks. Whitney Merciless had 8 sacks, which led the team. Ross Blacklock had 18 tackles for loss. 4 picks for Lonnie Johnson led the way. King with 3. Very interesting. Any forced fumbles? 4. Recovery for Lonnie Johnson. And then no defensive touchdowns. Let's check out the yearly awards. I did end up adjusting the rookie quarterbacks, and just seeing the 17-game schedule is melting my brain. Like 14-3, 12-5, 8-9. I hate everything about it. But also seeing running backs this high in the MVP is very interesting. That usually would not be the case. But I guess things have changed a little bit. Zeke won MVP. Offensive Player of the Year, I'd be shocked if you see a Texan in here anywhere. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller. No Texans. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Trevor Lawrence. In the actual game, that's not going to be blacked out. You'll see a picture of his face. Same thing with Zach Wilson. The Jets went 1-16. Brevin Jordan at 5. Okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Hamson Nasirildeen. All right. Good on the Jets. He's going to be probably playing weak side linebacker. Only a 60 overall with this particular roster. I couldn't go in and adjust everybody. It would have taken me probably 2 days, and I only have a limited time to actually record with this early access. So keep that in mind. But we're going to simulate now to the offseason. Hopefully we get some good development trade upgrades, and we have a lot of picks and a lot of money to work with where we can really rebuild this Texans team and make them very, very good. Wow, that's actually a pretty nice place to see all the awards. Justin Fields won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I guess they no longer have like AFC and NFC, thankfully. They just have one or the other, which is nice. Zeke winning MVP. This is a really good screen for this. You can see the champion, Super Bowl winning New England Patriots for a 7th time. And Devin McCourty wins Super Bowl MVP. Kind of a cool screen there for the 2021 season recap. What about staff moves? Can we see new hirings and things? Vic Fangio fired. Brian Flores fired. What happened there? Why did Brian Flores get fired? Joe Judge got fired. Brian Flores makes no sense to me, but Sean Payton fired. Oh. Ron Rivera, John Gruden, Robert Saleh after a year, fired. Oh, they're done. Kyle Shanahan missed the playoffs, fired. Ron Rivera hired by the Giants. Joe Judge to the crosstown New York Jets, even though same stadium. But wow, what an offseason so far, and things have barely even started. We're going to go into re-sign players here. We're only focused on Desmond King, I want to say, and the question's going to be, is he actually cheaper? He's upgraded to superstar dev, and he is a bit cheaper. Do I want him on a 4-year deal? Yeah. I would like for you to accept this. I think this is fair. He's going to test free agency. Here's the thing. You're not. I'm going to franchise tag you, and then we'll look to extend him next season. Christian Kirksey, I don't want anyone in here. It's cool to see some dev trait upgrades, though. Desmond King up to superstar. What about a player that's actually not leaving? Even though I know we got him back, but Brandon Cooks, maybe? No. Laramie Tunsil, of course not. Defensively, a lot of guys up to star. Like Whitney Merciless up to star. Lonnie Johnson up to star. Interesting. Some of these guys are going to walk, though. We have a lot of money. We're not only rebuilding and revamping, retooling, we're just completely renovating this team. So many things are going to change, and we are basically building from the ground up. Only $23 million this year because we're taking a lot of cap penalty with some of the players that we moved, including Deshaun Watson. Davante Adams is definitely really interesting here. It's going to be tough to say no to that. We want to keep age in mind, obviously. Like, we don't want to bring back guys who are like, or bring in guys who are like 30. Like Le'Veon Bell, obviously not. But Dante Hightower, no. Like, maybe if we were more competitive, those would make sense to me. But I think I just want to offer Davante Adams. A 4-year deal is maybe a little much, but he's still going to be amazing. It's just a lot of money. If we can get him for cheaper than that and just steal him, I would be in on that. So let's offer him about $65 million. No other offers. We can always increase that. We can always increase it. Casey Hayward's here. JC Jackson is actually worth signing. But I don't know if I want to like give up big money for JC Jackson. I don't even know if we can really afford him. There's no way he's going to sign, and I don't blame him. It's the Texans. I get it. But we'll see if we can get Davante Adams, because that would be massive. I wouldn't really care about anybody else. JC Jackson rejected and signed elsewhere. That means Davante Adams is still out there unsigned. Are other teams moving in now? No. So I'm not going to adjust my offer. I'm going to let it sit, and I'm going to see if he has time to reconsider and join the team. And he does. Welcome, Davante Adams. Now, no one's going to be able to throw the ball to you right now. Like, at all. We don't have a quarterback. Davis Mills, yeah. Great. Jordan Scarlett at running back. This is a great-looking offense. Charlie Heck at center. And Hjalte Froholt are going to hold it down. Listen, we have a lot of work to do. Nobody said it'd be easy. But we do have some pieces in place. It's not going to be a one-year thing, but we have a lot of picks. We're going to hit on at least one or two of them. So I'm excited for the draft. Okay, let's think about where we want to go with this pick. Actually, you know what? Let's just start the draft. I haven't seen the draft class yet. We pick at number 4 overall, and we can always move up. So that is an option. Haven't seen the draft class yet, but we know we need a quarterback, and keeping Larry Payne in state is a late first-round guy. Again, when the scouting update drops in September, this is going to be changed. Dylan Truman, early first-rounder at quarterback. That's the guy. That's the guy right there. Mark George in the 3rd round is certainly worth drafting. Mid-first-round guy, crazy arm, not a big commute from Oklahoma. This would be kind of like reminiscent of when the, I guess, Redskins at the time took RG3 at number 2 overall, and then Kirk Cousins later in the same draft. We could do that with Dylan Truman, and then down to Mark George. We need every position. I mean, the Jets shouldn't take a quarterback here, so I'm comfortable with them drafting somebody. No idea who it was. I'm being blinded. All right, the Jets took the receiver, Eddie Lawrence, who was the number 1 overall player in the draft, at least on like the big board. I don't want to risk the Broncos. There it is. 78 overall. I don't want to risk the Broncos taking a quarterback, so I'm going to have their pick. I'm going to trade up. All right, number 4 overall, 6th this year and next year gets us number 2 overall, where we should be in line to take our future franchise quarterback. I don't know why this light is so blinding. I assume it's got to be a bug, but we're going to take Dylan Truman out of USC. Not that USC quarterbacks have an amazing track record in the NFL. However, there have been some good ones. Don't get me wrong. Carson Palmer most recently comes to mind. It also doesn't matter. Like, you got to scout the player, not the school. So Dylan Truman checks off all the boxes. Looks good in shorts, big hands, 6'5", 225. Only 21 years old, can run fast, throw far, and he can join the team. 76 overall at quarterback. Yeah, he's number 7 in the draft, but for a quarterback to be a 76 overall coming out of the draft, for perspective, Trevor Lawrence is rated at 78 this year. This is higher than Justin Fields. It's higher than Trey Lance. It's higher than Mac Jones, obviously. It's higher than Zach Wilson. This is very, very good. And he has star or better development. Decent arm, nothing crazy. Good accuracy. Fast as anything. Dylan Truman. This is the future of the Texans. I think at number 8, I want to take Sergio Wilkins. Like, Orlando Walker definitely does look pretty good. We could take him. I don't even know what direction I want the defense to go just yet, right? Sergio Wilkins, I know we don't necessarily really need a receiver. When do we pick again? 12th? He could still be available. So you just stick with potentially the best player available, which might be Orlando Walker. We don't know that for a fact. Why not? Maybe we get both of them. All right. Orlando Walker, number 2 in the draft. Star or better development. Not too bad. He looks massive. His 89 power moves coming out. 78 speed. Block shedding's nothing crazy. Acceleration is. 80 tackling, 80 pursuit, 83 impact blocking. We're going to move him to tight end. 6'5". Yeah, he only got 78 speed. Obviously, we're going to play him on the end. Looks very, very good. Looks very good. And hopefully our receiver is still available at number 12. I mean, it's not a given, and we could go other ways if he's not available. But thankfully he is, because I like the way he looks. Like Men's Warehouse, I like the way you look, guaranteed. But he's got good spectacular catching, short route running. Speed's pretty good. I think everything checks out. He is a 77 overall with hidden development. Star or better, so it could be star, superstar, or superstar X Factor. Good speed, great agility, great change of direction and spectacular catch. Very, very well-rounded. He's going to be the perfect slot receiver. We have Devontae Adams as our big number 1. We have Brandon Cooks as our number 2, big deep threat, and then a third do-it-all receiver. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. And before we move to 31, because that's a while down the board, I'm going to view my draft board one more time. Make sure there's no one I want to trade up for. Like Roosevelt McDowell's okay. Derek Holiday is decent for sure. Is he worth trading up for? I don't think anyone is. I think I'm all fine to move down to 31. Okay, so I kind of want my draft to just follow through with these 4 players. Now, the order is going to matter. Do I want to take the running back first? There are a lot of good running backs still here that I really didn't think we'd be in play for. Maybe not Quincy Smith, but Freddie Raymond is okay. Matthew Collins is okay. Is Dean Mullins better? He's different. Certainly a lot faster. The combine grade for Matthew Collins is kind of crazy. It doesn't really matter too much. It just tells us from his 3-cone, his broad jump, and his bench press. He's strong and fairly agile. Now, the 20-yard shuttle's pretty low, which would tell you the acceleration's pretty bad. And we already know he doesn't have top-end speed. It's just how much do you value that versus Dean Mullins, who isn't honestly that agile, but is fast. He's got better straight line speed, but he's not really elusive. Matthew Collins is definitely the guy. So we have to make a decision on the order in which to draft these players. I will end up trading up, I think. So at number 31, what direction do I want to go in? I think the best direction is to trade down very slightly with a team like the Seahawks. Maybe the Seahawks? Yeah. And no, actually, let's do the Saints. The running backs, really should still be available. Okay, trading number 31 down to 35, adding in a 5th round pick and trading a 3rd next year to make it all happen. We're getting 35, so 31 down to 35, and picking up a 3rd this year, which I think I'm going to use in trades. So I think it's more valuable to have the wiggle room this year. Dean Mullins is a 76. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Is our running back going to be better? Well, let's see. Matthew Collins out of Utah, welcome to the team. 75 overall, normal dev. So he is a little bit worse. Still does look good. I guess speed is just carrying the overall, the other back. They're probably fairly similar. I don't think we need to take the quarterback now, as good as he might be. I'm going to take John Pollard just because I think he's the best player available. Probably come back for the center, as this is a good pick. Number 8 in the draft. Took him at number 40. Star or better development. Great speed. Not much for covering. It's interesting that his trait is covers linebacker style with decent power moves and not terrible finesse moves. Good speed, tackling, block shedding. He's really not much of a cover player. Honestly, you know who we just drafted? Is Brian Cushing. That's who we drafted. Okay, trading number 72 and a 4th next year for number 57 this year. And that will, of course, be to, well, I'm not sure exactly. It's either going to be the center or the quarterback. Gonna have to see the board, see what it looks like, depending on if both these players are still even available, which they might not be. Still there. Tyson. Parents got real creative there with the first name. Hats off to him. Is the center still there? He is. Chuck Hardy. I think he's going to be our biggest pickup here. I mean, had to get him. Number 14 in the draft, Sigma 57, star or better development. Looks pretty good at center. Could always move him to guard if we wanted to as well. And then, do I gamble and hope the quarterback stays on the board? No, it's not worth it. I'm going to just trade up slightly. It's not going to cost too much. So obviously very active with moving, wheeling and dealing in this draft. But trading number 67 to move up to 58. Trading a 5th next year and a 7th next year. Not really super valuable picks. And I think it's going to be worth it to add this quarterback. And even if it's just for trade value, he's kind of just too good to not take, in my opinion. I mean, clearly just the best player available. Mark George, welcome to the team. 75 overall, normal development. It's a good thing we didn't just bank on him. And he's good. Like, he really is good at 75 overall. Better throw power than the QB we drafted. High break sack. Good accuracy in general. Definitely a good player. Not going to start because he doesn't have that dev trait. But I really am in love with this draft. Every player we took, it felt like, had hidden development trait, which is star, superstar, or even superstar X Factor. I think we crushed this. Yeah, I mean, we crushed it overall. We crushed it. I mean, every player we took, and we had a lot of high picks, don't get me wrong, 3 first rounds and then 4 second round picks. We got really good value overall. It seems like the draft classes are pretty deep. A bunch of really, really good players. I think all but 2 had star development or better. Can't go over every single pick there, but I can show you how they fit into the team. So let me figure that out, and then we'll touch base here in a second. Hardy's a 76 overall tackle. We're not going to play him there, but that is interesting. And then defensively, yeah, I mean, I guess we're just going to stick in a 4-3 here. It makes the most sense. Shaq Lawson at left end. We have Walker, who we just drafted, of course, at right end. He's going to be really, really good. Pollard, who I think fits as a stand-up 4-3 outside linebacker pretty well. I definitely like the potential of the team. Now, cornerback is awful. Really bad. But that's okay for right now because we're going to draft corner next year. And there are some really good cornerback prospects in the draft now. So hopefully we get lucky. There were no good corners in this one. Got a little bit unlucky there, but a ton of potential for the future. Mid-season mark, we are 4-2. Actually, not so bad. Who are the players that want to leave the hellhole that is Houston, Texas? I live here, don't worry. It is really hot, though. I will say that. Brandon Cooks, he's 28. This is someone that I should have traded already. Now, we have so much money. What I could do with Brandon Cooks, if he had superstar development, I think it's a little bit different. The age of regression's 28. Oh, my cat wants to chime in. No, that's okay. It's 28. I promise you, cat. I promise you it's 28. She always disagrees. I could just end up franchise tagging him and trading him. That's an option. He's good, but is he worth it? Is he worth 12 mil? And it's not like he's going to take a 2-year deal. I'll amp up the money to try and make it worth his while, but I don't think he accepts this. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, he wants more bonus, wants a longer contract. I get it, but it also isn't happening. Desmond King, I will bring back. 4 years is fine for him at 27, especially with superstar development. He's going to be good for a while. And it's like, I don't need to worry about the money too much. I have $100+ million cap room. But once you start to get really good and you have to bring back a lot of really good players, it gets expensive really, really quickly. And also, if Desmond King goes back to corner, his value goes up, and then we're underpaying for a quality player. So there are levels to this. Lonnie Johnson is very okay. He's cheap, though. I think a 4-year deal is going to pay for itself pretty much for him. We'll bring him back. He's good depth at the worst. Titus Howard is not that good. I think we can do better in the draft or free agency for the price. So I'm out on him. I think we're just going to let everybody else walk. Kenny Rushing actually is interesting. Only a 65 overall. He's going to be dirt cheap to bring back. Star development, only 22 years old. There's something there as like a 5th corner, which I think is worth it. So right now the plan is franchise tag Brandon Cooks, and that's it right now. It's also such a nice quality of life change that when you simulate to the midseason mark, it's before the trade deadline now. I actually was not even aware of that. So Brandon Cooks, if the whole point of franchise tagging him is to trade him, I might just trade him now. Like, yeah, we're competing for a playoff spot, but if I can move him to a team, and most teams can't really afford it. What about the Colts? We could take... Who could we take off their hands that would really help us out? Obviously, Quentin Nelson. I think it's going to be really tough to trade for him. Let's just see. I would be so down for a straight-up move. Not even close. Gronk's on the Dolphins now. Okay. The Dolphins, by the way, look really bad. K1 Short's there as well. You know what I want to trade for? I want to trade for a corner. The Jets is not a good place to start. Well, I mean, they do have J.C. Jackson now, I guess, which is not real life, so I don't know how I would have known that. Brian Burns. I always want Brian Burns, but he's not going to be getting paid anything. He also might not be a good overall in this with the rosters. He should be listed at right or left end. Yeah, we're not going to be able to make that work. There's almost no teams we can even trade with. Ronnie Stanley, maybe. Hasn't been paid yet. Marlon Humphrey, I don't think is going to be acquirable. We do have 3 first-round picks for a reason. What about Brandon Cooks at a first? Still no. So we might just still operate under the same plan. Who would we get from the Steelers? I don't think we're going to be able to get TJ Watt or Minka or David DeCastro. Again, the overalls not accurate to what they're going to be in Madden 22. This is still an earlier build of the game. We could get super crazy and trade for Jamar Chase, but kind of don't want to do that. It's super unrealistic. And even though like we do the realistic rebuilds and then the fantasy style rebuilds, this is more of a fantasy style, if I didn't explain that, because a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, this is super unrealistic. You got so many picks, which I guess it hasn't been so far, like maybe a little bit over the top. But the 3 first-round picks for Watson is probably about what a team could get for him. At least that's what's been rumored, and it makes sense. But we're still going to trade for top players from time to time. We could go out and trade for a running back, get Joe Mixon, because our current running back, not particularly good. Would this work? No. I don't know about Brandon Cooks. Again, I think I'm going to keep to the original plan of franchise tag and then look to trade. Because we have the money. Franchise tagging doesn't matter. We made the playoffs. These records are going to kill me. I hate them so much. 10-7 versus 11-6. We went 11-6. It doesn't sound right at all. Again, I hate it. I know it's like I'm probably... you know what? No, I know I'm not the only one. It looks awful. We'll check out stats in a minute. 24th best offense, really bad. Was our defense really good? How did we win 11 games? No. In terms of yards, we just weren't good. Dylan Truman as a rookie was decent. Not amazing, but decent for a rookie. You'll take those numbers. Rushing, man, we just force feed RB1 all day. Oh my God. 3.5 yards per carry, went over 1,100 yards. That's why yards are irrelevant. Like, he had 318 attempts, scored 13 touchdowns, only fumbled the ball once on those 318 touches as a rusher. Probably had even more with catches, had 31 of them. No one over 1,000 yards. No one over 7 touchdowns, but the rookie, Sergio Wilkins, is the one to get it done. He has star development. That's right. We're about to find out the development traits for our rookies. That's always fun. Let's check out the quarterback. Maybe we'll do that just after we see the stats. Zach Cunningham at 136 tackles, 6 for loss, a sack, and a pick. Pollard, what a year. 126 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions. No sacks is kind of surprising, just because he plays a linebacker position. You figured we blitz every once in a while. Orlando Walker, as a rookie, had 18 tackles for loss and 7 sacks. Shaq Lawson put up double-digit sacks at 13. Wild. Charles Omenu had 7.5. 2.5 for Ross Blacklock. Interceptions, Pollard led with 4. 3 for John Reed. 3 for Lonnie Johnson. 2 for Eric Murray. 1 for Cunningham and Garrett Wallow. You know, I'm actually... I'm very surprised not to see Eric Reed anywhere in here. Like, I saw John Reed. Where's Eric Reed? Or that's Eric Reed. What am I talking about? Justin Reed. He's down here. I can't believe I just said that. But it happens. It happens. Sometimes I go brain dead when I record these. Thankfully, I caught myself because I already know what the comments would look like. Oh, Eric Reed doesn't play for the Texans. Yes, you're right. Christian McCaffrey wins MVP. Any Texans? No. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Patrick Mahomes. No Texans. Defensive Player of the Year, Von Miller. No Texans. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Matthew Collins, our running back. Dylan Truman, the QB, finishes at second. This was previously not possible. It'd be a quarterback like every time, no matter the numbers. But Collins does win it. That might be a development trait increase. We can only hope. Sergio Wilkins in there at 7. Honestly, should be a bit higher. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Andrew Gregory. John Pollard at 2 didn't win it. That's amazing. Can we see them from here? We still can't click on them. Sad. Orlando Walker at 4. I really like how well our rookies played overall. I'm excited to see their development traits. I hope for at least one superstar. Anything above that would be awesome. But I think we should get one superstar with all the star guys we got. Or above. Dylan Truman, star. Sergio Wilkins, we know, had star. Now, we drafted at least 2. Oh, Hardy has star. So, 2 defensive players with hidden development trait. Please have one at superstar or higher. Walker and Pollard, both only at star. It's better than normal. It's just we had so many. And for none of them to be superstar. Sad, sad. But it's better than normal. Better than normal. And we will see if we can beat the Raiders in the wild card. Also, in the past, people who are new to the channel, as we lost 27-20, it took me a second to find that. This is not really a gameplay-based series, the rebuilds are. Like, I'll jump in the playoffs occasionally, but this is more about a team-building video, so if that's not for you, I completely get it. I have actual gameplay franchise series on the channel, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, this is more, like, just team-building focused, and we're going to be focused on that here in a second, as our season's over. Lost to the Raiders in the wild card, and we have an early offseason. Did get extended, though. Okay, I got to turn off coach firing. Oh, my goodness. Imagine if I just get fired. That'd be awful for the video. But it's off-season time. All right, upgrade players. We should see some guys who got some big boosts. So Matthew Collins for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Did he go up to star, though? Didn't. Pain. Pain and suffering is all I know. He's up to an 80, though. Okay, this is what we like to see. Shaq Lawson gets star dev, but Pollard, the rookie, gets superstar. And if you're wondering why it didn't key in before, it happens during Super Bowl week, or I guess it's called staff week now. But I guess maybe that's anything after Super Bowl week for us, because we're not in the Super Bowl. But previously, it was activated during Super Bowl week. John Pollard getting superstar was awesome. So we love to see that. That's big. Justin Reed up to an 89 overall. Not too bad. Going into the offseason, we're looking to upgrade outside linebacker. Like, Garrett Wallow getting star dev is cool, I guess. He's bad. And he's got a monster neck roll. Like, brace in the back there. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. Shaq Lawson gets star. He's at an 80. Walker playing up to an 82. What's his power moves right now? 89 still? That didn't get upgraded at all? Surprising. We need Devontae Adams to carry a little bit more. We need that to happen. Brandon Cooks already regressed. already regressed. Should have moved him, probably. Full 2022 season recap. Matt Rule wins Coach of the Year. I always forgot about that being an award in Madden. McCaffrey won MVP, also Offensive Player of the Year. DeMarcus Lawrence, a Defensive Player of the Year. Our rookie Matthew Collins won Offensive Rookie of the Year. And then Luke McLeod with the Cardinals, Defensive Rookie of the Year, as the Chiefs win the Super Bowl over the Dallas Cowboys. But we're not worried about all that. That's nonsense. Also, you know what's crazy? Dallas Texans ended up being the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, the Dallas Cowboys. And here we are, another Texas team. I know the Chiefs aren't anymore, but back with the AFC they were. Or AFL, excuse me. But we're just this random Texas team that can't freaking do anything. We're working on it, though. Stay tuned. All right, do we do anything about Brandon Cooks? I mean, he's got to know he's not worth that. Shaq Lawson, great season. I don't care. I'm not bringing you back. Like, he's got to know he's not worth that type of money. Like, I'd give you a one-year deal worth a lot less. If you want it, which you probably won't, you can test free agency. Here's the thing about that. 22.7 mil. Is it even worth it? You know what? We have the money. I know this seems crazy. How can you franchise tag Brandon Cooks for 23 mil? Because the money doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? All that matters is how it affects our salary cap. And as I will show you in free agency, we are way under the cap. We have infinite money to play with right now. 87.12 mil after that. So money doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All that matters is the value I can get from trading him. And I see Tyreek Hill here. Tyreek Hill would be nice. That'd be a pretty nice upgrade to Brandon Cooks. I know we do have a receiver that we're developing, but getting another stud receiver wouldn't be a bad idea. We do need help on the offensive line. I mean, there's Tyreek Hill light. He's not quite Tyreek Hill, but he's, you know, does everything worse, but he's also really fast. He's not bad, though. I kind of like Mecole. Was sick at Georgia as a little hybrid return guy. I don't know. What do we want to do? Obviously not quarterback. We're good with our guy. Running back. You know, getting Kareem Hunt could give our team the kick start that it needs to really be a competitor. Maybe on him. But Tyreek Hill, you know what? We have the money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. We're offering him a monster contract. I almost don't care if he declines because it's a lot of money, but he's really good, though. Zach Ertz could be good for a year. Do I do that and then maybe look to draft a tight end? Zach Ertz has like a little stopgap. I can think of worse things. So let's go ahead and offer Zach Ertz a contract. It's not a ton, but we might be able to steal him for nothing. Man, it's going to be tough to get offensive linemen. Eric Flowers, no. I think Joel Bitonio is certainly going to get a contract. David DeCastro is a little bit too old for me. Maybe Quentin Spain, again, just as like a little stopgap, little bridge player. And then we could also draft offensive line, although there are never really any good tackles. Let's at least offer Joel Bitonio tackle experience for him too. So worst case scenario, we slide him over. It's not the worst thing in the world. The quality of players available in free agency isn't crazy, but we're going after some of the top guys in general. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But if we can get at least half of the guys we're going after, I think we're going to be a better team. Like, very obviously. As we got 4 guys. Tyreek Hill, Joel Bitonio, Quentin Spain, and Quinnen Williams. Zach Ertz has not yet signed. But I think this makes our team a lot better. Like, a lot better. Joel Bitonio, again, I don't have to play at left guard, but it wouldn't be the worst to just have a killer left side of the line, including center. Like, from center left. And then we're just still looking to upgrade the right side with bringing in a right tackle. Brevin Jordan isn't the worst tight end in the world. And then getting Tyreek Hill is unreal. Brandon Cooks is going to be traded because we have Wilkins here waiting in the wings. Sergio Wilkins, only 22 years old. Really solid player, even if he's not like anything amazing right now. He could end up being pretty solid. And then defensively, we're still just looking to upgrade just the outside of our team. corners and then working inside a bit to the defensive ends and outside linebacker their spot. So we're not in a terrible spot. I think we're going to stick in the 4-3 and just really focus on getting defensive ends. Now, actually, what we could do is flip to a 3-4, play like Blacklock at nose, and then Walker and Williams as like 3 to 5 techs in that 3-4. So, you know, being on the line, and then Pollard and Cunningham can both be inside linebackers in the 3-4, and then we'll just get 2 edge rushers in the draft to play outside linebacker for us. It's a possibility. We definitely 100% without question need to get at least 1 edge rusher in this draft and a cornerback. And if there are 2 really good edge rushers available, we can transition into a 3-4 if we want to do that. So we have picks. We have players to move for picks. We're in a really good spot. I also want to see if we can get Zach Ertz to improve our offense as a whole, because we still have money. We still have big money, and there's gonna be a lot of money coming off the books after we're not franchise tagging Brandon Cooks anymore and paying that. Zach Ertz is not going to sign with us. Doesn't really matter. Don't really need a fullback either. If I can get Rijkaard for like $1 million a year, that works for me. 38 total points. We'll see if we can convince him to come to the team. Doesn't really matter. It's a fullback. It's not instrumental to our offense. Zach Ertz rejects. I don't even know if anyone's going to be offering Rijkaard, but I don't see him signing with us. Rijkaard's a cool player. If you guys didn't know, I believe he was at UMaine. Played defensive tackle. Has played some D tackle in the NFL as well. And it's just a hybrid defensive lineman fullback. So kind of a cool thing with him. All right, we pick at number 11, but also I think we have multiple first rounders, 11, 20, and 23, and we have a second round pick as well. Deshaun Gates out of Boise State looks pretty good. He looks pretty good. He'd work so well in our 4-3. Obviously, don't need to worry about quarterback. Donovan Henry. Do I have to trade up to number 1 for Deshaun Gates? He looks sick. Devontae Green also looks really good. Okay, we're in an interesting spot. We're in an interesting spot. Okay, Keyshawn Garrison might be the best player in the draft. He looks ridiculous. I'm in an interesting spot here. The cornerbacks don't look to be anything special. They're good players. Not sure they're worth a high pick. Christopher Sherman seems like great value in the 5th round. So I mean, hey, Shermans have been drafted out of the California area before and been pretty good outside of the 1st round. Richard Sherman, I don't know if you guys remember that name. Recently, probably not the best role model to look up to. But Richard Sherman, of course, from Compton, went to Stanford in California. And he was drafted in the 5th round, as expected. So there's some decent crossover there. It's not quite Stanford with UCLA, but the storyline kind of matches up there. And he's big, too, at 6'2", about 200. Interesting. Also, Keegan Tyler's an early 1st-round guy. In the 2nd, really good value there. We are going to have to navigate the draft board. That is a given. My review of the tackles, they suck. It's kind of how that goes. Rashard Reed in the 4th round, money right there. That's money. But I want Deshaun Gates. Devontae Green looks really good too. I don't really need. He's 23. That's the thing. I don't know. Do I want us to move to a 3-4? We can make it work. We can make it work very easily. It's just, what do I want? So there are basically 3 edge rushers I like. And I mean, Ross Blacklock doesn't have to be involved. Do I just switch to a 3-4? And then if we can get all those 3 players, that would work perfectly, which that's a tall order. Pollard, Cunningham on the inside. And then Walker, I think, could stay on the defensive line. He's 280. Like, he's big. Block shedding's not crazy, but it's pretty good. And then Quentin Williams, he could play the nose. A little bit light, but he could play the nose. Crazy block shedding and strength. It shouldn't be a problem. Blacklock does not have to be involved at all. He could just be depth. It's not like Roy Lopez is any good or Jonathan Grenard. We don't need those guys involved. We're going to get crazy in the draft here. and transition into a 3-4. But in order to do that, we have to move up to number 1. It would make this a lot easier if the Falcons want a receiver. Falcons don't really have a huge interest in Cooks. A lot of these teams do have green interest, though. We can make something happen. The Saints have the 3rd pick. Now, the Saints have had Brandon Cooks before. They know what type of a player he is. And I know what you're thinking, but Bengal, they traded him away. But that was a long time ago. People forget. People forget. We're going to make a move for it. Oh, okay. Well, that just got accepted like that. I didn't really expect that to go through. But okay, Brandon Cooks and a first next year. It's my only pick next year in the first round, so pretty valuable to me, but I think we're going to be good, so it's less valuable. We're getting number 3 overall, and I'm going to trade up from 3 to 1. Actually, we're making a different move. Ross Blacklock at number 11, as well as a 5th next year, for number 1. They wanted Ross Blacklock, and I understand why. He's still in his rookie deal. He's young. He's good. But in my current mindset, we don't need him. So we're going to take Deshaun Gates at number 1. 6'4", 266. Built to play the edge. Only 21 years old. Played in a power conference that is the Mountain West and Boise State. Now, there can be great players to come out of small schools, obviously. And Boise State isn't even all that small. Like, look at Khalil Mack coming out of Buffalo, who the Texans probably should have drafted in hindsight over Jadeveon Clowney. But hindsight's 2020. They would have been crazy not to take Clowney after how dominant he was in South Carolina. So Deshaun Gates is the one. Wow. A lot to take in here. 1, he's a 79 overall. Ridiculous. He only has normal development. Normal makes me sad. But he's the number 3 player in the draft. So there are 2 players, at least, who are 79 overall or higher. He's very well-rounded. 88 strength, 75 block shed, 78 power moves, 77 finesse moves, 83 tackle, 84 agility. He's very well-rounded. Honestly, I almost want to play him on the defensive line instead. He's a little light to play end in a 3-4. A little light, for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think his profile fits it pretty well. Dolphins took a white screen. I have no idea. Kerry Allen, they went quarterback. Tua time is over. And here we are at number 3, planning to trade back. Devontae Green's definitely really good. Like, definitely really good. But there's another pass rusher, Keyshawn Garrison, who needs to play outside linebacker, who also looks really solid. Can I use both of them? Right? I think that was the whole plan, right? All right, Mark George, the quarterback we took last year, has served his purpose. He's done all he needs to do because we're trading down from 3 to 5 and Mark George and a 3rd next year in order to pick up a 3rd and a 2nd this year. So 69, nice, and 37. So those might end up just being fodder for trades, but we just didn't need Mark George anymore, I think, very clearly. And in order to make my current plan work and be realized, we needed to trade him to get extra picks so we can end up trading up. Devontae Green's my guy here. Is 23. It's not terribly old, but maybe you might only have 5 years of him being at his best, worst case scenario, before regression. But he should be very, very good. He looks kind of insane, so I'm taking him. He's ranked number 5 in the class, coming out wearing big 69. Nice. Star or better development. Number 5 in the class, took him at number 5. 78 overall is very nice. 87 speed, 86 strength, 82 finesse moves. He is someone that I think can fit really, really nicely at outside linebacker if we need him to with that type of speed. So, thrilled with that. And then Keyshawn Garrison is 13 spots down, which means I probably want to move up to where the Colts are just to ensure he's not taken. Okay, just straight ends are going off the board. I'm kind of worried. And even though he is far still, I just really don't want him to get drafted. I hope we can just make it to the Colts. All right, so we've been doing so much trading in the draft. a lot. I get it, but I think it's really going to be worthwhile for us. Can I trade a fourth and you just do it, please? Okay, not going to be that easy. All right, we're giving up a decent bit here. Second round pick next year to move up to number 10 from 20. We're going to have to figure out a way to get picks next year. I mean, we might not even really need them with the way I think our team is shaping up. Oh my God, I'm doing exactly what the Texans did. Trade away all our picks. Here's the only difference is I'm actually trading the picks for picks. Keyshawn Garrison, 80 overall, number 2 player in the draft, only normal development, but he's 85 speed, 83 finesse moves, 83 tackle. He should be pretty good at outside linebacker in our 34. So again, normal development kind of, I don't like it, but he's an 80. So he's still really, really good. Okay, so let's reevaluate our draft board right now. I know there's some decent cornerbacks in here. They're just not worth taking at that spot. Like maybe Junior Shepard I would consider if he makes it to 23, which he will. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. We have a second, and a fifth, or a third. Fifth overall in that round. I do want a lot of guys. Keegan Tyler looks really good. We don't really need an inside linebacker. 2 running backs who look very solid, but we want the one in the fourth more than that. We can take more the 3rd round pick. So let's get Thurman Colvin out of here. Let's get Dorian Charles out of here. And then, I mean, we could just draft all these players probably. The only one that's a bit more of a question mark is whether Junior Shepard makes it to 23. And even if he doesn't, he's not like make or break to where I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get him. It'll just be like, oh, he's not available. He is available. He's definitely fast. He's definitely going to be decent. Keegan Tyler is a better player, but we don't need him so much. So we're going to draft for need here. We straight up need someone to play cornerback. Junior Shepard's the guy. Another normal development player. Oh my. Number 12, took him at 23. 94 speed. Not much of a guy for coverage. Man's decent at 75, I suppose. Nice tackling, but 68 zone coverage. Not tremendous. Like, it's good value for the pick, but he's just not amazing.
On the clock now, it's the Texans.
And I still want to take a tackle, but there are just no good ones. Linebacker is off the board, which actually, that's fine, because we're just going to trade this pick and get a first rounder next year somehow. Let's work with the Bucks. Damn, they have Mitchell Trubisky and Dwayne Haskins. And it says they need a quarterback still. I must be missing something. Those look like some pretty good players to me. Okay, number 37, a 6 and a 7 next year gets us a first next year from Tampa. We're doing a lot. We're really doing the most. Hopefully this isn't too hard to follow. I'm making a lot of trades for a lot of picks from different years, but here we are, late in the 2nd round. Still should be 2 good players available that I want. They both are. Rashard Reed to give me a backup running back that has the potential to start depending on development trait. Oh my goodness, he's the number 1 overall player in the draft with star or better development. You're starting right away. No questions asked. He's very solid. Definitely a little bit better than the running back we drafted last year. He's so good overall. He's the number 1 player in the draft. It makes sense. But he also has star better development. Thank God. Was wondering if those just didn't exist anymore. We got him late in the 2nd round, and he would have fallen even further. And now in the 3rd round, our final pick. That sounds crazy, but Christopher Sherman's here, and he looks really good. So we're going to take another corner here. 72 overall, normal dev. Ranked number 46. We took him at 69. Nice. Really not much of a cover guy himself either. But again, for the pick, it's pretty good value. It's pretty good value, and he would have stuck around a little bit longer too, but I'm not just going to trade down. So I'm happy with the way our draft went. I'm not overjoyed, but I'm happy about it. Yeah, I mean, we did well in the draft. We drafted 280 overall players. I'm not overjoyed. This is a really good draft. This is a really good draft. Let's go ahead and sort by overall here. We got the first and second best player and the third and the fourth. Miss one. I mean, we got the top 4 players in the draft. Not really too bad. How good was Keegan Tyler? 77 overall, normal. Okay. Guess I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, we did really well. We did really well. Just maybe not a draft class that had a ton of development trait players. But, yeah, Reed's going to start at running back. Why is he fullback 1, dude? Get that out of here. So we kind of got like a little thunder and lightning thing going with our backs. Collins, clearly the thunder at 222. Big time trucking. And then we have the lightning that is Rashard Reed. 92 speed. They're like the same speed, but you, you get what I'm saying. We're going to keep Wilkins in the slot, probably. And then we need to set up who we actually want going after the quarterback. So, do we really want Green at rush D tackle? That's kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair. Can he play it? He kind of can. Might want to do Walker just because he's a little bit stronger. Are they both 86 strength, actually? So this is the team I'm rolling out there. Why do they flip that again? This would be a really, really good time to actually have Patrick Ricard as fullback. But this is the squad. Still looking to upgrade right tackle, tight end, and right guard at some point. This is how I'm setting up the defense. We are in the 3-4, obviously. It's a decent looking team. You know, with only 2 like actual rush spots in the specialist, though, I can only get 2 guys at rush end. Walker is ending up going over to rush D tackle, and it's going to be Garrison and Green. I don't know what to do with Gates. Like, he's just the worst pass rusher of everybody. So I feel like it's kind of a waste to play him as a rush end. But I want him at outside linebacker. Or excuse me, I want him at right end because he's really good in terms of actually stopping the run. 78 block shed, 88 strength. So I think he's a really good base end. And then we'll bring in like the true rushers to actually get after the quarterback. So I think the team's looking really, really good. We are an 88 overall, or 84 overall, 88 offense, 84 defense. I think we're in a decent spot. 5-2 at the midseason mark. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now is a good time because I didn't show it last year. Now is a good time to see development traits. Show me at least a superstar, but we didn't really have that many tries to. We don't know the running back just yet. Needs more touches. It's that damn running back behind him getting too many. Collins. Bastard. So Green has star. Seems like there's going to be a lot of stars. A lot of stars, which isn't terrible. Hopefully Reed breaks the mold for being the #1 overall player in the class. Hopefully he's at least superstar. That would be very nice. But these players still can get upgraded. So just because they're a star or even normal now doesn't mean they won't be better in a couple of years or so. So, I mean, we'll upgrade everybody there. CPU would have handled it otherwise. We're on our bye week. But we do need to look into re-signing players. And who is at the top here? Laramie Tunsil, Quentin Spain, Kaimi Fairbairn. Don't really need anyone else. But Laramie Tunsil for sure. I'm really fine with giving him a max deal. He's worth it. Wants more money. Don't we all, Laramie? Don't we all? Quentin Spain, I guess I could give another 1-year deal to. He's back. He's just, again, something until we have something else. And then Fairbairn, we can worry about a kicker later or sign one in free agency. There have been better kickers available, but I've held off because we have Kaimi Fairbairn. But if we get rid of him, don't need him anymore. We can get an upgrade at the position. So might consider that. We did not make the playoffs. We finished 7-10. What happened? What happened? 7-10. I know I'm going to talk about it the entire time. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like it. But things were going so well. Our offense was garbage. I think that definitely is a problem. Defense was pretty good. Defense was pretty good. Why was the offense so bad? Our quarterback isn't worth anything. He's terrible. Rashard Reed, we still can't rush for over 4 yards per carry. He only has star development. Shock of the year on that one. Receiving, still no one over 1,000 yards. Still no one with 10 touchdowns or more. I don't know how he just skipped defense like that. John Pollard led our team in tackles. Junior Shepard at 112. We need to upgrade a cornerback for sure. Don't really want your cornerback getting so many tackles. It means he's probably allowing a lot of catches. Quinn Williams had 17 tackles for loss. What about sacks here? That led the team. That's brutal. We did not get a lot of pressure. Oh my. This team is not in a good spot. This team is not in a good spot. Season recap. The Bills won their first Super Bowl. Josh Allen winning Super Bowl MVP. Christian McCaffrey just wins MVP every year, it seems like. J.J. Watt, Defensive Player of the Year with the Cardinals. Man, does that sting in a Texans rebuild? Rashard Reed wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the Jags got their Defensive Rookie of the Year in Brandon Dobson, a defensive end that we didn't draft. What do we do to make this team win? We're an 87 overall. I wish we could see where that ranks in the whole of the NFL. That would be nice. Interesting. So we're going into an offseason here. This is going to be a big offseason for us. We should be able to get big upgrades in free agency and then patch some holes in the draft. And then I think be the best team in the league overall wise for 2024. I know it says 2023, but the 2024 season? We'll have to see about that. Do I need to bring anybody back that I didn't already? Laramie Tunsil? Yeah, I mean, wouldn't mind franchise tagging him. It's going to be expensive to do so, but I wouldn't mind it because it's expensive to bring him back. You're going to test free agency? You know what? I'm happy you said that because you're not going to. I don't care what you say. You're on my team. And we'll see who else will be joining my team in free agency. Just under 60 mil. Stephon Gilmore would be a big upgrade at corner. We don't really need defensive tackle. Quinn Williams got superstar dev. Would be nice to have a backup. Oh, Texas legend, Justin Tucker. Hook 'em horns. Yeah, give me Justin Tucker. That's our priority. Very interesting period here. Isaiah Simmons, one of my favorite targets of Madden 21 franchise to get, rejected me. It's devastating, but we did get new upgrades to our special team with Jamie Gillen. I feel like I always say Gillian, but it's Jamie Gillen. And then, of course, Texas legend Justin Tucker. Matt Hennessy and Stephon Gilmore joined the team as well. And then when you go to see our actual team here, things are starting to come together. The reason we got Matt Hennessy is to be our new starting center. And I believe Chuck Hardy is going to slide over to play right tackle. Yeah, we're going to make that happen. Hardy actually goes up one overall at right tackle, which is always nice. Doesn't do anything. Your guess is as good as mine. But things are looking okay. Did Green have star development prior? Yeah, I think so. I think it was what, Gates and Garrison that didn't? Yeah, okay. I lost count there for a second. But yeah, everything is as I remember it. Man, my brain doesn't work. That's unfortunate. Couldn't even find that word. I'm going to try out Carolina playbook because the fact that they're so successful is wild to me. It might just be designed around having Christian McCaffrey, but I'm going to try Carolina playbook and see what happens this year. NFL draft time. I don't even know. Whose pick do we have? We pick a number 17 overall. I don't remember who we even made a trade with. The Vikings, bottom dweller, sticking here inside the top 5. And I'm still fine at quarterback. Waiting for this guy to take his Josh Allen-like step up. Hasn't happened yet for our guy. So much so that I don't even remember his name. I couldn't even think of it if you asked me to. Truman. Dylan Truman. That's right. I'm pretending to remember that. He's just been so lackluster and forgettable. How could you even remember this guy? Accuracy is not quite there yet. We have 2 of the best receivers in the league, and he's not doing anything. maybe next year. What are we looking at here? Corner as our big need, and still offensive line. Corner, offensive line, tackle. You know, once again, the corners aren't all that good. So what I'm going to do actually is move Desmond King back to corner and take Khalid Collins to play safety. He looks really good. That sounds good to me. This draft class is kind of bad. Khalid Collins is really the only player I want. And once again, in order to get him, I am going to have to move up. If he's available at number 3, I am moving up to number 3. But he might not be. He might not be available. He still is. All right, I'm moving up. Only way I could get it to work, I think it's worth it. We're trading a first next year to move up from 17 all the way to 3. It's a lot of value to give up for a safety, but he looks really, really good, and it's kind of like the missing piece of the defense. So it's going to happen. Khalid Collins, welcome to the team. Looks amazing. And he's an 80 overall. Number 1 in the draft. We took him at number 3. Normal dev, because that's what I'm getting used to at this point. And he has decent speed. Zone coverage is pretty good. Man coverage is at an 80. Man coverage is at an 80. I almost want to stick him at corner. But that's basically my draft. We'll see if anything's available in the 4th. Good defensive tackle available. Good for depth. Reggie Shaw is the pick. 71 overall. Drafted him at 52. Or drafted him at 106, and he's ranked at 52 in the draft. So very, very solid. And that will be the draft. So again, I think we did pretty well in the draft, but we didn't have many picks to work with. Josh Young was a running back, looked pretty good. A lot of normal dev guys. What's going on here? What is going on here? A lot of normal. So Desmond King's back to corner. Khalid Collins will be starting at strong safety. Defense is looking very, very nice. Quinn Williams at superstar dev now is also pretty cool. You can watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. They talk about Antonio Gates. That's interesting. We got a ability for it. Okay, yeah, all right, man. That's something else. All right, we're at 88 offense, 87 defense for an 87 overall. Team's looking pretty good. In case you guys forgot, this is what it looks like currently. And it looks pretty good. It's about actually performing. It's going to be a whole different issue. But it does look pretty good. Matt Hennessy's a new addition. No real tight end. The defense is looking really solid. Just some more development needs to be done here and there. But we have a great kicker and punter now as well. We should be in a really good spot to be successful. So without further ado, let's go ahead and simulate to the midseason mark. New playbook. Carolina on offense. Will it be the difference maker? Hopefully, yes. 3-4. 3-4 with an 88 overall team. You know, it really does never get old. Gotta love it. I kid you not. I'm checking back in and we're 12-5. This is usually where I'm accused of force winning games. However, not this time or any other time. I don't know. We just we're trading wins on a 3-game losing streak headed into week 9. Just narrowly beat the Jaguars and then went on a monster winning streak. 1 out. 1 out. We will take that. 12-5 is fantastic. 89 offense, 88 defense, 88 overall. How is the team looking? Clearly very good. Clearly very good. We know that much. But let's actually see where things are. We'll check in on the stats as well. Truman's up to an 88. He's developing. Rashard Reed is up to a 92. That's good. These are things I like to see. Speed's even been upgraded. It was at 92, now it's at 94. I guess speed's being upgraded more than in previous years, I suppose. But overall, can't complain. Things are looking pretty solid. And a lot of our best players are not even going to be free agents in the near future. Let's check out stats and awards here. Our offense, our team was just totally different in the second half. 6th best offense in terms of yards. 9th best defense in terms of yards. If we check out Dylan Truman, he was way better. 3,600 yards, 31 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Rushing, Rashard Reed. Hold on. 1,300 yards, 4.1 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns. Matthew Collins had 18 touchdowns on 97 attempts. That's a ridiculous ratio. Hold on. Let me break out the calculator on this one. That's a ratio. If you do 97 divided by 18, he scored a touchdown every 5.3 carries. That's nuts. Receiving, Rashard Reed, that's the difference. That's the difference with Carolina playbook. Can you tell they target the running back at all? Rashard Reed had 1,300 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving. This is a playbook designed for Christian McCaffrey. And guess what? He was still pretty good. Receivers, honestly, didn't get too involved at all. I see they've made changes to playbooks in 21, that's for sure. They've made changes to how offenses are run. When we were running Tennessee, like I did all last year when it was overpowered, that's why the running back was getting 1 million touches. Same thing with Houston as well. They don't even really know what they want to do. But these receivers aren't even getting involved. It's all running back all the time in Carolina playbook. We're learning, so maybe it wouldn't be the worst idea to go like Kansas City. That might not be a bad idea. Zach Cunningham, pretty good year in terms of tackles. 13 tackles for loss for Keyshawn Garrison. 10 sacks for Deshaun Gates led the team. 5.5 for Walker. 5.5 for Pollard. 5 for Garrison. Just everyone getting involved. Khalid Collins as a rookie. What a stat line. 89 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 5 interceptions. He is probably going to go up to star dev, which is nice. 4 picks for Gilmore. 2 for King and Lonnie Johnson. Yearly awards. Zeke wins another MVP. Cowboys, dude. I mean, it's unreal. You don't even see quarterbacks in here. The first 5 are running backs. Mahomes at 6, Mixon, Rashard Reed, who honestly should have gotten more. Dalvin Cook, Kerryon Johnson. There's one quarterback in the top 10 of MVP. Not my NFL in 2021. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Nick Chubb. How many quarterbacks? 3. Defensive Player of the Year, Max Sapp. Maybe a Warren Sapp relative. Rookie of the Year, Kendall Forney. And on defense, Max Sapp. Wow. Can we beat the Bengals? Please. 42-35, and we've made it to the divisional. We're much better than every single team we're going up against, and we are barely fighting to stay in. I haven't even done one of these press conferences. Here we go. Coach, the Ravens are struggling, but sometimes a team can trip up unexpectedly by looking ahead to the next game. Any fear this is a trap game? What kind of a question is that? Smug response. That sounds like me. We're going to go no fear, though. Not at all. This is the NFL and everybody is a threat. We stress that week in and week out. The second you overlook an opponent is the second you make headlines for getting upset. So the Ravens are struggling and all players will have -5 break tackle, play rec, and tackle for this game. Oh, the trap game. We're going to be in an interesting spot here where I am going to simulate. Beat the Ravens, please. Thank you. 38-21. And now in the conference championship, I will probably end up jumping in. The fact that their top player is Hunter Henry at 89 overall is interesting. Very, very interesting. And here's another interview. Hey, coach. That's how he sounds. Stephon Gilmore's like, hey, coach, I know we expected to win that game, but like you said, everyone's a threat in the league. Something, whatever. 1,000 XP for everybody. Everybody gets 1,000 XP. Like, I can't tell you how much I actually wanted to do that awful impression that Stephon Gilmore definitely doesn't sound like. But I don't think I could have kept a straight face. So we're going to jump in here, simulate the weekly strategy, and jump in if we have to. This is a Super Bowl team. We're a +9 overall on them. You can't lose, and I'm going to try and make sure of it. It is all Madden, and I'm bad at the game. So we will see. As you see the watermark on the screen. We will see if we can actually come out on top. We're at home. Let's have that home field advantage. We're up 7-0, now 10-0 early here in the first quarter. Now in the second quarter, we are up 17-0. Patriots not standing a chance, but finally getting on the board. And again, but we score and answer right back. It's 31-10. New England trying to fight back in this game, 31-17, entering the fourth quarter. And their efforts will be for naught. Am I saying it too early? I'm saying it too early. We're up only by 3. We're in victory formation. Truman kneels. Oh my God. That got dicey. Mike Tomlin is the head coach of the Patriots, and they've got no logo on the hats. Interesting. 34-31. We barely escape, but we are making the Super Bowl. Will we win the Super Bowl? Well, that remains to be seen. But we have made it there. Could be Super Bowl champion, Houston Texans. We've got upgrades for the boys here. Khalid Collins, tell me you got star dev. Tell me you did. Yeah, okay. Absolute trash. Maybe it doesn't do it at Super Bowl week anymore. That's my hope anyway. That's my hope. Because otherwise, somebody's got some splaining to do. Because he needs to be star dev at least. Oh, we're not even into Super Bowl week yet. All right. We'll have to see what happens. Yearly awards are finalized. Zeke wins another MVP. He's the best player in NFL history. It'll be 2030. Zeke will have won his 8th MVP in a row. Yeah, I think McCaffrey maybe still won in there at one point. This is something else. The Cowboys have made their 8th Super Bowl in a row. Yeah, I mean, it really is crazy. He had 2,000 yards and 28 rushing touchdowns. Unreal. Unreal. Do we check out yearly? No, that's not what I want. I want the year recap. I guess we can't see that until the season's over. Actually, you know what? Let me do Super Bowl Media Day. This is all new, so I'm curious about it. Every coach's dream is to hoist the Lombardi Trophy as confetti rains down and you have a chance to do that for the first time this week. What would a win mean to you? Wow, I wouldn't even care. No, just the beginning of the dynasty, clearly. Obviously, it would mean a lot, but my dreams are so much bigger than just this game. One ring isn't enough. One parade isn't enough. This is just the beginning for me. I don't know if I answered that correctly. Would have been good to get some extra XP or something for the Super Bowl. But here we go. It's time. Texans Cowboys. The real Battle of Texas. None of this Dallas Texans crap where it's Chiefs Cowboys. This is Texas versus Texas. I mean, you got the Cowboys and you got the Bull. Who wins? Historically, I guess the Cowboy. But this is no professional bull riding association, okay? This is real football, and we are a better team. They have a better playbook, probably. Hopefully that's not the difference. Super Bowl time. Let's win it. Dallas out to a 10-3 lead here as we're in the second quarter. Make it 10-6. We are fighting back, and we are not going to tie it up just yet. We're going to take the lead at 17-10 now in the second half, 20-10. Dallas finally back in the scoreboard column, and it's 20-20. Scoreboard column. I'm going to patent pen that. We're jumping in on offense. First time playing Madden 22. Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill. I better be able to make something happen. Here we go. Play action. That's open underneath. And that's a diving catch from Tyreek Hill. All right, Rashard Reed. Let's see what he's capable of as a runner. And this is a little bit of a taste of what you're going to get if you watch my franchise this season, or this year for Madden 22. This Madden season. I'm not really much of a gamer. I'm not very good at the game. But I can trade for players and draft for players with the best of them. Quick throw, wide open. Take what the defense gives you. Another dive. Just hold down truck. We're not trying to be impressive. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. And guess what? We just did. Provided I don't screw up a field goal from the 3-yard line. Obviously, it's going to be back a little bit further than that. A little bit farther, but it's... I mean, what is this? With dropping back to 27-yard field goal. Kick is up. Kick is good. Justin Tucker wins us a Super Bowl back home in Texas. Now, granted, Austin is not too close to Houston. It's also not too far. But Justin Tucker, Super Bowl hero. The Texans are Super Bowl champions. Red, white, and blue confetti rains down against America's team, but America wins. The Texans, The new America's team, they get the title. New animation, kind of nice. Kind of cool to see this for the first time. Everyone's going to touch the Lombardi trophy as this gentleman just goes ahead and walks through there. But yeah, quarterback Dylan Truman going to hoist the Lombardi trophy. And the Texans could be a team poised to draft a quarterback in real life. And for the realistic rebuilds, we will be using real draft picks. Will I come out with my draft class as I do every year? It's quite possible. It's quite possible. Maybe that ends up being Spencer Rattler the next time we rebuild the Texans. Or maybe it ends up being Baby Baker in the form of Sam Howell. That's kind of my big comp for Sam Howell is Baker Mayfield. Even though I don't like player comps, I like that one. Who else? It's going to be interesting to see the 2021 college football season. You never know what quarterback's going to come out of nowhere. It's happened most years out of the past 5 that I can think of. Joe Burrow, most notably. Zach Wilson this past year. Maybe it's JT Daniels with Georgia this year. You never know. But I think that's as good a spot as any. You know what? No. First rebuild of the year. I'm going to give you guys another season. Sergio Wilkins getting, I don't know, he's XP for winning the Super Bowl? What does Rashard Reed get? Anything? Offensive Player of the Week. 1 Super Bowl MVP, that means. Okay, 69 rushing yards. I see you, Rashard. He's up to a 95 overall with morale. Not too bad there. Not too bad at all. And here's a little taste for you guys. Next rebuild is going to be my favorite team, the New York Giants. I may not live in New Jersey anymore, but I still rep the Giants, as sad as that has been recently. That'll be the next rebuild. Stay tuned for that one. I feel like I'm saying stay tuned a lot this video, but what else are you going to do? What am I going to say? Wait patiently. It'll be out shortly. It's not as personal, you know? Aren't the players ready to negotiate? Did I even re-sign anybody? So it's Laramie Tunsil, Zach Cunningham. I'm honestly out on that. Brevin Jordan, Garrett Wallow. Brevin Jordan, maybe. We still have a ton of money. Laramie Tunsil is going to test free agency. And again, you're not. I promise you, I will never let that happen. Zach Cunningham, I don't want. He's 30. He's an 81 overall. He's past his prime. Don't believe me? Check the progression history. Regression. Oh, I won Defensive Player of the Week and I won you a Super Bowl. I don't care. You're dead to me. Out with the old, in with the new. We will find the new Zach Cunningham, and he will be younger, and he will be better. Khalil Mack in here. Ooh, David Bakhtiari would be nice. Where is... I swear to God, if new Zach Cunningham is Zach Cunningham, I'm going to be sad. Oh, I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be really sad about it. Hey, Zach, what are you doing next season? You want to come back? Hey, how about you play middle linebacker for me? How does that sound? How did David Bakhtiari reject? I gave him so much money. It's ridiculous. What an idiot. All right, I got match. His name is Mitch Morse. Why is Mitch a tough name to say at one time? Don't know. He's going to play right guard because I don't have one. Okay, let's see. Before the draft, we can trade up for anything. Do I even have a first round pick? I might not. Tight end is kind of like the only hole I can see here on offense. And then defensively, I like the defense. I really don't think we need to upgrade anything on defense. Maybe getting another corner wouldn't be the worst thing. The team's just overall really solid. Like, even look at Sergio Wilkins here. Sure, he's playing up quite a bit, but he is playing up. That's the type of player we're getting. I don't know how long this is going to carry over. I assume, like last year, it's going to cut off the start of next year. That'd be my guess. We don't pick until the very, very, very end of the second round. So it's unlikely we're going to be in position for any player that even looks okay. Antonio Williamson, this is the guy. That's my backup tight end. Antonio Williamson is available. We will take him. 73 overall, ranked at number 32 in the draft. Took him at 64. Was he the best player on the board? Certainly not. But for my team and my needs, yeah, it works. Good a time as any to take a backup defensive tackle. Marco Reese, number 54 in the draft. Took him at 96. Good value. Anytime you get about double your value, you're not doing too bad. We're going to advance to the end of the draft. There's not really a lot for me. This is the final year anyway. You're not going to see those guys for the most part. So I'm tempted to try out another book. We know how Carolina plays. It's give the ball to the running back no matter what. DJ Moore open down the field. Christian McCaffrey at the check down. Let's hit it. Let's hit the swing. Let's hit the dump off route. Whatever it is, you know. We're going to maybe bring in a more aerial attack. So I'm going to try out Kansas City. This is the team. It looks very solid. Like, you can't really tell because some of these players are playing up with morale. But I guess a lot of them are fairly back to normal. The team's really, really good. Like, the defense isn't quite as good at first glance as the offense, but it still is really solid. Like, Justin Reed's a casual 92. 85 offense, 85 defense. It's saying we have. That's been fluctuating a lot. We're going to simulate to the midseason mark, see how we're doing. KC playbook is on. West Coast spread is on. Let's see how this changes the stats this year. We are 7-0. Might not be a bad idea. We allowed 42 points to the Jaguars in a shootout for the ages, but we are undefeated, which I cannot complain about. And Marlon Mack, damn right he's the Colts' best player. If you have not seen my channel before, Marlon Mack in the actual franchise games we play is a problem. I don't know why, but he is a problem. We're going to simulate to the playoffs, see how this team's doing. 14-3 is our final record. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Best offense in the league. Okay, Dylan Truman put up some numbers. Playbooks matter a lot. 55 passing touchdowns. That would be an NFL record. 4,000 yards. Holy hell. So, Dylan Truman ties Peyton Manning at 55 touchdowns in a season. Just stupid. Only 4,000 yards, though. Kind of weird to throw for 55 touchdowns. Rushing. Wow, that's why. I mean, look at all these yards. 1,400 for Rashard Reed. 14 touchdowns for him as well. Averaging almost 5 per carry. He's a monster. Receiving. There that goes. Tyreek Hill had 116 catches for 1,489 yards and 24 touchdowns. Devontae Adams was pretty good. Brevin Jordan had a lot of targets, 8 touchdowns. Sergio Wilkins, no depth of target on that really at all, but 9 touchdowns. Pretty good. Defensively, John Pollard, as we have 4 guys at over 100 tackles, led in tackles. Sacks, 17 for Deshaun Gates, 10 for Keyshawn Garrison. Deshaun Gates put up 17 sacks. Won a game. Not bad. What about Orlando Walker? 7. I'm surprised he wasn't more active as a rush D tackle, but I feel like finesse moves is just like far and away the best for sim stats. Like power rushers just don't get after quarterbacks the same way. They just don't. I'm not sure why. Like Keyshawn Garrison is what, 92 finesse moves? 92 finesse moves, 10 sacks. Deshaun Gates, what are your finesse moves? Only 79. I don't know. Interceptions, 3 for King, 2 for Shepard and Collins. This team was pretty good. McCaffrey wins MVP. There's Zeke. It's one or the other every year. I don't know how Dylan Truman ties the passing touchdown in a season record, finishes 6th. But so it appears that's just going to be the way it is. AFC Offensive Player of the Year is Josh Jacobs. Truman at 2. Okay. Rashard Reed in there. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. Deshaun Gates at 4. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Bradley Knox. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Clarence Rivers. All right. Texans, Patriots. Not going to jump in right now because there's not really a need. 42-35, we barely squeak by. And then we have Baltimore. Baltimore coming up. Not good. Baltimore is pretty good. Pretty good. We'll see if we can beat them, though. 1 game away from the Super Bowl, and we lost. Devastating. Devastating stuff, but that's going to be the rebuild. We got a Super Bowl win. We made it back to the AFC Championship and unfortunately lost to the Ravens. But our team is amazing. 89 overall. It was very, very, very solid. Truman finally got up to superstar dev. I would hope so. After throwing 55 touchdowns, won QB of the year. Brevin Jordan got up to star. This team is only getting better. Ooh, Justin Reed up to superstar. Very, very good team. Gates got up to star. This is a very, very good team, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you subscribe. It would really help me out a lot. Just take you a second. You can always unsubscribe later, although I hope that you don't. But that's the video. We've built a really good team that should be competitive for a while, which is the goal of all of these, even if we don't win a Super Bowl. But thankfully, we did it. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
I hit it at the park, bend bones. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game, Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah. Promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. I'ma turn taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speedbird's good.